Hi, I ordered this book a while ago from Weta's website. It's The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey Chronicles. You can actually get it on Amazon for about, I think it was like $26 the last I looked. It's a little bit more to get it from Weta, but if you get it from Weta, it's signed by everybody. So that's like, 4 different people signed it. So, I mean, it's maybe 15 bucks more, and that includes the shipping, than it is on Amazon, but autographed book. And this book is really cool. I mean, they only showed a couple of pages out of it when I was looking at the sample, and that was enough to make me want to buy it. But, I mean, it comes with Thorin's map here, and you've got the whole thing. Lonely Mountain, Smog, and Desolation of Smog here. And then, as you can see, the moon runes kind of show up there. They're a lot fainter in the actual thing than they are. And you know what? I think they glow in the dark. It's got that feeling like if you shine light on it. I'm going to have to try that later to see if they glow in the dark. But yeah, it's got that, and basically it's got all of the concept designs of characters and sets and all kinds of stuff. Like, you can see, hopefully you can see this, different designs for Bilbo, and like what they ended up with, and the ponies, and the whole thing. And this in the inside of his house, and his clothes, and pretty much all of the hobbits, all kinds of stuff. I mean, this book it's, I don't know, like 200 pages. It's got a scene in here that isn't in the movie, but maybe it's in the extended thing, where it talks about Gandalf, and it just says, Gandalf and Bilbo first met when Bilbo was just a little lad at the Old Took's party. It's a midsummer celebration in the orchard near the lake, put on by the Old Took for the children with a Punch and Judy show, fireworks and beer for the parents. Gandalf plays a little trick and pulls a dragon out of his sleeve. All the other children run away, but Bilbo stays and is intrigued by the dragon, giving Gandalf the impression of a rather courageous young little hobbit. So I'm wondering if this is actually like in an extended scene or some other, one of the other movies or something. I don't know, but it sounds interesting. And then it's got the dwarves, and it goes like dwarf by dwarf. And the neat thing is, I mean, it shows the different, let's see if I can get this to show up in the camera here, different ways and designs and everything, and then the final result, and it's got the weapons in here, and it's got it for all of them. I mean, it's got everybody in here, and it talks about what the different concept people came up with, and, I mean, they've got in here the tattoos that are on Dwalin's hands actually translates into axes of the dwarves are upon you. And how cool is that? I wouldn't have known that, but it's in the runes on his fingers, so there we go. I mean, you got Keely. He's lucky he ended up looking the way he did, because there were some very interesting things. Feely, Dory. But yeah, I mean, this is a really neat book. And Bifford could have come out much differently than he is. But the one I wanted to see was Boffer, and they talk about how they ended up with the different designs and stuff, and he has probably some of the most different facial features and beard designs and everything out of everybody that's in this book. It's got his weapons and all that, and see if I can round this out. You don't really get to see them very well in the movie, but they've got like portraits and stuff of various children as dwarves and dwarven ladies. And you get to see them a little bit when they're running out of the burning buildings and running for their lives and everything else. And but yeah, I mean, this is really cool. And one of the other things that I thought was worth mentioning is about Radagast, and it says, Peter's vision for Radagast is absolute genius. He was insistent that Radagast be asymmetrical, so he'd literally have one eyebrow up and one down, half a mustache going out one way, the other half drooping down, and a bird's nest in his hair with the bird's business caked all down one side of his face. He's a total contrast to Saruman. So, for those of you who were still in doubt on whether or not that was moss or bird crap on the side of his head, it's bird crap. It's confirmed in this book. So, there we go. But it's really, I mean, the whole... They've got a section in here about their underwear, the dwarf underwear, and how they had to come up with different underwear, and they got the trolls and the swords and, you know, elves and all the whole, I mean, everything's in here. This is just the neatest friggin' book, and they even got a whole section of the stone giants and everything else, and my favorite part is the goblins, just because I thought the Goblin Town and the Great Goblin, I actually like his character very much. I thought he was fantastic. So, shiny pages here. But, yeah, I would say it's worth at least taking a look at. You might be able to get it at a library or whatever. I think, I'm fairly certain they have another book that's going to be coming out in, like, February or March that does all of the animals and creatures and stuff. And there's even a huge section on the wargs. But anyway, so, yeah, and then at the very end, they have the entire contract. And for the most part, you can read it except for the teeny tiny print. You might need a magnifying glass. But they have the whole contract, which was actually written out by someone, and they kept telling him to add more stuff, so he did. And I think that's really, really cool. So, yeah, this is the Hobbit Unexpected Journey Chronicles, and worth the money. So...